So the game has just come to a close between Argentina and Samoa. As you can see, 19 points to 10 in favour of Los Pumas. It was a lot more low scoring than I did anticipate for this game. It was the rain falling, which of course did impact how quickly these two sides were able to get their points. But overall, I think both of them, they cancelled each other out. But then also their individual errors they will want to improve on as they make their way through this Rugby World Cup. And in this review, we'll be looking through at who scored the tries, few of the statistics along the way, and also who we would give the man of the match to. But looking through at, first of all, the two try scorers. For the Argentines, it was Emiliano Boffelli who was able to score the try relatively early in the fixture. A lot of pressure being put on by the Argentines, definitely around the same time when Duncan Paiua did go to the bin for 10 minutes for taking a player out in the air. So Emiliano Boffelli, he actually scored that try, and he scored 16 out of the 19 points for the Argentines in this game. Just the only other points being scored by Nicolas Sanchez near the end of the fixtures. For the Samoans, it did take 75 minutes to be able to break through that Argentine defence. It was Sama Malolo who was able to get himself over the line. And at that stage, after the converted try, Samoa were only down by 6. And it did seem like there was just that little bit of a chance we could see a late comeback. But then from there, the Samoan tactics changed. They started kicking from inside of their own half, giving the ball back to Argentina, which then led to an eventual penalty. And Argentina got it over to give them that 9-point lead that we see to my side. But overall, handling for both sides was a little bit rough. You could blame the rain a bit for that, but also just backlines not quite firing the way they would have liked. The penalty count was also relatively high, 13 penalties against the Samoans compared to the 11 of Argentina. I know a lot more of those penalties were coming in the second half when the sides were starting to tire that little bit more. But overall, Argentina, I think the part of their game that was really impressive throughout this contest was their ability to get line-out steals. I believe Guido Petti, he managed to steal about 3. The Samoans had 8 of 11 for their accuracy, whereas Argentina in their own line-out, they were able to win 16 from 16. So that was a big difference maker for them. At scrums, Samoa also did lose 2 of their own feed compared to the 100% of the Argentines. And overall, in a few of the other stats, Argentina also did have the edge. They have 381 running meters compared to the Samoan 129. They bet 36 defenders compared to the Samoan 9. And also, they did have more offloads along the way as well, Los Pumas. But they just looked like the more dangerous side. I feel Samoa did well to stay in the contest as long as they did. There was a lot of hard defending coming just out from their own try line, where they were narrowly able to hang on from some brilliant individual player moments. But in the end, the Argentines still walked away with that victory, and it was a must-win game for both of these teams heading into this match. Argentina, that is now their first win of this Rugby World Cup. They will be playing Chile next week on the Monday morning, and for Samoa, next game now up against Japan is an absolutely crucial one. They can walk away with a win there, still have a very good shot of making it out of Pool D. But for man of the match, I would say that Emiliano Boffelli, probably a reasonable shout with his accuracy off the kicking tee. Alongside that, we also saw some decent moments from Mateo Carreras. It was just a case of we didn't really see him enough to be able to give him that man of the match, but I would say one of those two would have probably ended up with it. For the Samoans, in terms of the players who stepped up, I think Fritz Lee overall was pretty strong in this game. Once again, we hardly saw Stephen Luatua for that first 60 minutes before he was subbed off, which is quite concerning for Samoa that some of their more experienced players aren't the ones performing currently. We look at the perfect example of Christian Lealiafano at number 10. He was missing kicks, also dropping the ball, making bad decisions, which is the last thing that Samoa want in some crucial games that they have got just around the corner. Also, someone who had a bit of a shaky game, of course, was Duncan Paiua, getting himself yellow carded within the first 35 seconds. That was one of those scenarios. It was bad, but it was also kind of impressive with how quickly he got himself sent off the field. 35 seconds has got to be some sort of record for the Rugby World Cup, surely. But then from there, when he made his way back out onto the field, just didn't really look like he was ever in the game. Dropping the ball, mistakes at the back, hurting the Samoans' chances there as well. But overall, both of these sides, they've got a lot to learn from this game. There's still plenty of time left in this Rugby World Cup, but from here on, they do need to make sure that they are consistently winning their games so that the chances of getting through go up drastically. But thank you all very much for tuning in to the short review. Do let me know what you thought of the game in the comments down below, and I will see you all for the next one.